Okay, welcome back everybody. In this video, I'm going to show you how we can recreate this design element right here. Okay, now, whoops, let me undo that. What you need to do firstly is, let's draw out a rectangle frame tool, and I'm going to make it roughly about the same size as that. It might be a little bit different, but that's okay. All right, now we're going to add an image. You'll notice it's got an image in there, and it's got some text, and it's got this kind of plus shape there as well. So the first thing we want to do is we want to add a yellow stroke. So let's go into our stroke and make it yellow. And you'll notice it's got this kind of two line stroke, a thick and a thin. So let's change this style to thin thick, and I'm going to make it nice and big so we can see it. It's also got rounded corners. Our corners are square at the moment, so over to here, change them to rounded, and you can make them as round as you want, but I think the default's pretty good there. And also let's give it a fill of black. Alright, so you can see that starting to take shape now. Now, I want to get this picture in here, and we would have done the picture, how do we add pictures in an earlier video, so let's make sure this box is selected that we want to add the picture to. And let's get a file, let's get a place, and I think I've got off-road bike, that's my picture that I'm using, put that in there. Alright, now it's really big, so I'm just going to double click it so I get the picture dimension bounding box, and I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to start dragging it in to make it smaller and moving it across here. And I'm just going to, whoops, undo that, double click again. It's going to make it fit about halfway into there. Alright, this picture's probably not ideal, but that's okay, that's what we'll use for now. Alright, there we go. Now, why don't we make this this plus shape by using the Pathfinder tool again. So that's really easy to do. I could just use the rectangle tool. I could draw out like a rectangle like that. Let's make it, give it a fill of red, and we'll give it a no stroke, and there we have it. Let's clone that with the Option or Alt key. Click and drag. We got two of them. Let's rotate it by holding shift and moving it 90 degrees. We'll drag it on top till it's right in the middle there, and now we've got a cross. Now all we need to do is use the Pathfinder tool to join those two shapes together. So remember, they both have to be selected. Go into Pathfinder, and this one here will join those two together so they combine to make one shape. So there's our plus. Now I'm going to leave that down there for the moment, and let's start creating these text boxes. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different text boxes to create. So win, let's make win. Let's get the text tool, and let's draw out a box here, roughly maybe about that size. And I used this font here called Black Oak STD, and let's type all in capitals win with an exclamation mark, and let's change the color to yellow up here. All right, now we want to make it bigger than that. Alright, now you'll notice I've stretched my text. This is about the same width, but mine's a lot taller. So let's go up to here and let's make this nice and tall like that. Okay, that'll do. You can make it perfect as you go. I'm going to just make my box a bit smaller so it's easier to manage, and I'm going to bring that up here, just like that. Now I'm going off a little bit. I might just move my image across a little bit, like that. Okay, press W so we can see it properly. There we go, good. 2BT1650, let's create that text box there. Get your text tool, drag this out again, and we'll just use Minion Pro. All capitals I think we're going to use, 2BT650 and a small s. Let's highlight that, and we'll make the font size bigger. Now, if you want to put a bit more space in between your letters, like I've done, you can use this one here, and that kind of makes it a little bit nicer, a little bit easier to read when you've got a bit of space in there. Okay, so I'll up that a bit. I might make my fonts a little bit, just a little bit bigger, maybe a little bit taller. There we go, that will do for now. Let's drag it up there. We're not going to see it because it's going to be black on black, so I'm going to double click in the highlight, change that to white. Oh, Okay, I can't quite see it at the moment. Let's just make that box bigger. I've lost my T letter. Okay, I see what's happened. I've missed it when I highlight the rest and changed it to black. There we go. Now, is that fitting in? There we go. Now, let's get the plus in here. I'm going to select it, hold shift, click and drag it to make it smaller. Make it a bit smaller than that, and let's get that probably about around here. That will do. Another text box for load more gear or worth over. And I'll draw my text box maybe about like that. I'm going to make the font a bit smaller than that. Alright, I'm going to use Minion, keep with Minion Pro. Let's type all in capitals, load more. I'm going to press enter, gear, full stop, space all, worth over. Alright, I'm going to make the text box a little bit bigger, stretch it a bit, and let's highlight it all and let's center align it. And I might make the text a bit bigger as well. Go down one more. Alright, let's drag it up. We'll change it to white before we drag it up so I don't have that same problem as before. White. And let's get it on there and see how it's going to look. Okay. I'm not going to get this perfect, but this you can see the finished example, what it should look like there. And I'll show you where I got this example from the real magazine that I was working from. 19K. Let's do that. Let's use the same font that we used up there. So again, let's go back to our text tool. Draw our box up. Let's choose black oak. And I forgot to change this one to bold. I'll change this one to bold. $19K. No, I won't change this one to bold. I'll change the top one to bold so it's got a bit more weight. Let's change it to yellow. I'll make it a bit bigger and I'll make it taller as well so it stands out. There we go. Now going back to this one here, I'm just going to click and highlight it all. And if I can change the oh no, I can't change it to bold. That's okay. I thought I could. All right, let's have a look at that. If I press the W key, you can see how that looks. Now this, I'll just move this one out of the way and get my one that I prepared earlier because it's grouped together. This kind of sits on the edge of a magazine and bleeds off the side like that. So if I press W, that's how it's going to be looking in a magazine. How it looks like in the magazine that I copied it from, which I'll show you. Okay, have a go at doing that.